Democrats in Congress are taking aim at the major players on cable news, on the conservative side of cable news.
Are any conservatives responding to these cable providers with regard to these ridiculous assertions?
What we're doing at the ACLJ right now is we'll be formulating the best strategy to approach whether or not, and I'll tell you in the past that the ACLJ has been involved, worked with these big providers before in the past on various FCC-related issues. They've come to us for insight on constitutional issues, on the viewpoint of conservatives, and it's happened before. So I think we are right now behind the scenes, behind the broadcast, we're formulating the best approach, whether that's going to the FCC and those cable providers and saying how egregious this is and outlining why.
And let me just be very clear with our listeners. We have a very long track record on this organization, and on this broadcast of opposing ideas like the Fairness Doctrine. Jordan, we don't think that we have a right to get equal time if a listener has been presented with an idea we disagree with. We firmly believe that we've got to go out into that marketplace of ideas and compete and convince our listeners and argue on merit and argue on the law and actually win people over. It's not the force of government that makes people listen to us. It's the ideas that we present and the intellectual backing that we have. This is exactly the opposite. But, Jordan, it does set up this juxtaposition. We believe that viewers and listeners and ultimately individuals should decide. But when this power gets centralized in Washington, D.C., increasingly, and to one of the callers' last point, it's not just on the left, although it's mostly on the left, but when that power consolidates in Washington, D.C., then it's Washington, D.C. who decides, and it's the listener who loses out.